Hi guys, I'm Christy Forsyth with Clarity by Christy, and welcome to the Clarity Summit. I'm so excited to be here and to be sharing this information with you guys. I'm going to be talking about meditation today because I think that this is something that's really important for all of us. So I'm going to give people a chance to jump on. But I'm going to be sharing, make sure you guys stick around to the end because I have some special offers for you for being a part of the summit, some special things that I'm going to be sharing with you. So make sure you guys stick around to the end, or you watch the full video later when you can. But I just want to say thank you to everybody for being a part of the summit, to the teachers, to the people who are participating in the summit, for commenting on the videos, for just being present and holding space for all of this. I'm so appreciative for all of you. This was something that just came to me one morning, and I always know that these ideas that come through kind of right when I'm waking up are really important, because whenever I jump right on these, things happen really quickly. They're very successful, and so this is one of those things that I just kind of woke up with and felt like I needed to do it. Felt like I wanted to give back to all of you. I wanted to be able to do more, to be of service, because that's something that I'm always wanting to do, always wanting to help more. So this is my gift to all of you. I hope you're enjoying it. Let me know what you guys are thinking about all of this. Hi, Sarah. Thanks for watching. So before we get started, I will tell you a little bit about me. So my background is as a licensed mental health counselor. I did that for several years. I've always known that I'm a person who wants to help people, who wants to heal people, who wants to move people through their stuff, right? That's just something I've always known. I can remember sitting down with friends as kids and helping them through their stuff. I can remember being on the 4th grade playground and trying to hypnotize the other kids and having a line of kids who are waiting to come be hypnotized by me. And there's just been all of these examples throughout my history where I've always wanted to help people and to do things to help people to grow or to feel better or to heal. And so counseling was the perfect fit with that for a while. And then I started to get uncomfortable. Then I started to step into my awakening. I started to reconnect again with my intuition. And what that looked like for me is that all of a sudden I was in counseling sessions and I started to see auras around people, and I started to see angels again, and I started to have much more of a psychic awareness about what's going on with people. And so after a while, it started to feel like I couldn't honor those gifts within that traditional counseling setting. And I wanted to be able to honor those gifts. I wanted to be able to help people in the ways that I knew I could help them. And so that's kind of how Clarity came to be. Is I got started with Clarity and created what I now call soul therapy, which is a combination of life coaching and me connecting with my intuition and that guiding the entire process. So my gifts are to basically talk to the angels. You know, that's really what I'm connecting with as I go through the process. And they kind of just give me a sense of what to say, how to navigate the session, all of that stuff, special messages for you. And that's what I do with the soul therapy. I call myself a psychic medium, but really I see myself as a healer. I see myself as a helper. And so I use all of the different tools that I have at my disposal through soul therapy, whether that's hypnosis, whether that's coaching, whether that's energy work, whether that's reading tarot cards, whatever needs to happen happens in the session. And this is how I get people from point A to point B. And I always say I like to take people to point C, where we're connecting people with the highest possible version of themselves. And so this is what we're always working on and working toward. Hi, Alexis. Oh, good. I'm glad you're loving it. Thank you for joining. So a big part of my process in reconnecting and developing and building on my intuition has been to meditate. That's been a huge part of me building on that and developing that, because when I was connecting with my intuition, I wanted to work on that and develop that more. And so I actually went to Buffalo and did some intuition development and then did some intuition development online. And at the root of all of this, everything that I did to develop myself, there was always meditation. And so meditation is a really beautiful tool for helping us to develop and work on our intuition. Each and every one of us is intuitive. Each and every one of us has intuitive gifts. And so it's a tool, it's a way for us to develop our intuition. But I also say that it's a tool for humans. It's a tool for human life, for us to best navigate our life, because when we are taking the time to tune into ourselves, to tune into whatever this is, whatever you want to call that, God, the universe, source, whatever that is for you, when we're taking the time to make those connections, we are finding our peace and our calm amongst the storm that exists here on earth, amongst all the chaos, amongst all the craziness. We are connecting to our intuitive messages, and we are just allowing ourselves to take a little time from all of the chaos and craziness and find our center, find our peace. And this is a really powerful tool for navigating our life all the time. So we're going to be diving into that a little bit more deeply, but I've been getting a ton of messages from you guys today, and you're basically saying, what the hell's going on with the energy today? What's going on? It's feeling a little bit crazy. So I'm going to do my usual thing before we dive into this class, and I'm just going to pull a couple of cards for you guys to talk about the energy, because it is a little crazy. If you guys are wanting to learn a little bit more about what's going on with the energy this week, make sure you tune into my energy report and tarot reading from Tuesday. I have that up on my Facebook page, and make sure that you follow my Facebook page as well, because I do those every week. I'm doing videos all the time, and that is one thing that is part of my gift, is to tap into the universal energy and to report that to you guys, to share with you what's going on with the universe, how can you best navigate it so you can have the best week possible. So let's take a peek at what the cards have to say in regard to how we can navigate the rest of this week and through this weekend. What do we have going on? Let's see. So the first card we have is the Two of Fire, and this actually came up in the reading on Tuesday. So again, there's a beautiful energy around business and work and things like that, and contracts and partnerships, things like that, anything that's related to all of that. And this is just acknowledging that we've come into our own. We've done a lot of work around things. And so if we're going to focus on the positive, if we're going to choose to do that, which I think is always a good idea, focus on the opportunities that are coming your way this week, on the good things that are showing up. Continue to move forward with work-related projects that you've been working on, particularly regarding partnerships, contracts, that kind of stuff. Or if you're talking with somebody and you're feeling like there's a good vibe in regard to something related to business, you're really encouraged to take some steps forward this week with that. So let's just pull a couple more cards. How are you guys doing? Make sure you say hi if you're watching, whether it's live or the replay. Hit me with a hashtag replay if you're watching on the replay, so I know you guys have watched. So here we have the Ace of Air, and again, this is an amazing energy. As much as it's seeming chaotic around us, I think there's a lot of gifts this week that we're seeing. So the Ace of Air is new ideas that are coming through, inspiration. It also can be that we're seeing the truth in a situation, that we are recognizing the reality of a situation, and sometimes that can be challenging, right? When we don't want to believe it or we don't want to be faced with it. So we're recognizing and seeing the truth of a situation, and the best thing that we can do is to figure out, okay, it is what it is. This is the truth. This is the way that it is. So what am I going to do about it? How can I best navigate this? How can I best approach this? What can I learn from this? All of that stuff. But I really feel like this is a great week for ideas and for inspiration. So allow that stuff to come through and take action on it. And the last card that we have is the Three of Fire, and again, a beautiful energy. This is about abundance. Things look really good. Make long-term plans about things. And so whatever it is that you're focusing on this week, whatever it is that you're working on, understand that these are, as long as they feel like they're connected to your soul, that they are guided and driven by your soul, these are going to be important things that you want to make long-term plans about, that you want to dive right in, that you want to have partnerships if you know, you're working around a partnership, and they're going to produce a lot of opportunities this week. There's going to be a nice steady flow of income or money this week, abundance, however that shows up for you, but things are looking really good. So I think that these cards are a really nice balance to some of the energy that you're all feeling. This is a reminder that amongst all of the shit, there's good stuff too, okay? And so look for the good stuff, focus on the good stuff. It'll help you to stay on track. I'm feeling a lot of energy specifically around work this week and your life's work. So pour yourself into that as much as you possibly can, especially if you're feeling inspired to do that. And I think that there's going to be a great reward. So that is, I have Melanie watching. So Melanie is actually who taught me to read tarot. Initially, I taught myself with a book, and then Melanie was my teacher for reading intuitive tarot. So thanks for watching, Melanie. And Melanie is going to be teaching tomorrow, actually, on living a Kokoro life. So I'm so excited to watch that because I don't know very much about that, so I'm excited. So let's start to talk about meditation. Why do we meditate? And I touched on this a little bit, but why would you want to meditate? Some people, when I make that suggestion, because it comes through a lot in readings or in sessions, that is a recommendation for people, and people kind of give me a look sometimes like, why the hell would I want to do that? Why would I want to slow down? I'm too busy, I'm too this, I don't have time for that, I can't do that, I can't slow my brain down, it's too hard for me, I'm not the person to do that. And I can tell you guys 100% that that's who I thought I was. Even just about, I guess I've been meditating now for about 5 years, maybe not even that, but about 5 years ago, when I was exploring all this and really stepping into this new level of my awakening, that's when I started to feel like maybe I should try to meditate. You know, like the idea started to come through, and at first I really didn't think that I was going to be able to do it, because in my mind, and I even have a hard time when I'm teaching or talking, because my brain is always going so much faster than my mouth. And so it's hard for me to catch up with these thoughts that are coming through, because it's always going so fast. And so it's always going so fast. So you can imagine that when I wanted to try to slow down, when I wanted to try to quiet my mind, I was like, there's no way in hell I'm going to be able to do this. But I just kept feeling compelled and that there was a need for me to do it. So what I decided to do was to start small. And so I literally decided that I was going to meditate for 1 minute. And so I set my timer on my phone, and I closed my eyes, and I tried to meditate for a minute. And probably for about 2 days, that minute was the longest minute of my life. It was really, really hard to keep trying to redirect my brain. It was exhausting. It was frustrating, because why won't my brain just shut the F up, right? Like, why won't it settle down? Why won't it calm down? And so I tried that, but what happened on the third day is it started to get a little bit easier, and not like super easy, right? It was still a lot of redirection, but I noticed an improvement. And so after about a week of doing that for a minute and noticing a little bit of an improvement with that, I went to 2 minutes, and I set my timer for 2 minutes and got a little bit better with that. And then 3 minutes, and then I just kept building on it. And now most days of the week, I do a meditation for about 15 to 20 minutes. And I've been able to work up to that, to the point that I go so deep into meditation that I find myself experiencing where I leave my body, or I sometimes don't remember at all because I go so deep into that. And I come out of that with these amazing insights, or sometimes just amazing relaxation. We're going to talk about the benefits of this, but I come out of it just better. And that's the thing, is that no matter what, if you're incorporating meditation into your life, it's going to make your life better. And you really do have to stick to it. You really do have to make a commitment to it and continue to try. Because had I just done day one with the 1 minute, I would have been stuck. I would have said, no, screw this, I'm not going to do it. This isn't helpful to me, whatever. Because it actually made me more anxious at first, because it was weird and I was annoyed at my brain and it was difficult. So had I quit then, I wouldn't have ever been able to receive the benefits of meditation. So the reasons that we want to do meditation, I mean, if you look at the research on it, there's so much research that just says this is what we need to do. This is what helps us with stress. This is what helps us with depression. This is what helps us with every single problem that exists here on this planet, because it also allows us to connect with solutions to our problems, whether it's right within that meditation or whether it's because we've now opened that channel when we are later walking down the street, or we're working in our office, or we're driving in our car or whatever, suddenly a new insight pops in. So it opens us up to that. It helps our physical body to just connect with calm. It helps us to feel what I call God's love, right? It opens us up as a channel to God's love. And ideally with love, what we want to focus on is that connection to love and that connection to our own love and to God's love, because this is where the real love is at, right? This is where we can thrive and benefit from love, because this is the love that is always available to us, and we don't need to be reliant on anything outside of ourselves. It's there was this meme that I found once that talked about I want to be more like the moon and learn to be whole without anyone else, right? Meditation is about teaching you how to be whole without anyone else. Because when you are so filled up with God's love, it will help you to just have more of that experience or come closer to that experience. So I really encourage you for those reasons, for so many other reasons, to give meditation a try. But okay, so we're here with this, right? But you're still probably like, okay, cool, but I still haven't been able to do this. Maybe you've tried, maybe you haven't been successful, maybe you doubt that you can be successful, whatever. Hi, Nicole, thanks for watching. And so maybe you're worried about that. So I want to talk about some specific ways to do that. Now, some people will tell you that you have to meditate the exact same way, and you have to sit in this perfect lotus position, and you have to visualize the chakras, or you're not allowed to do it with a pillow underneath you or with your back on a wall, or there's like all of these rules. But one of the things that I really liked to let go of when I stepped into my awakening was rules. I don't really love rules. I like freestyle. I like to be able to flow. And so what I'm going to teach you guys is my form of meditation, which I call freestyle meditation. So with that, there's a ton of flexibility. This is all about figuring out what works specifically for you. Okay, so you might not be able to sit on a hard floor and sit in lotus position and hurt your back and all of that stuff, because you know what? If you're not comfortable, it's going to make it harder for you to relax. And that can be a goal. That can be something that you work toward, because when you can do that, you're getting into some really deep meditation. You're getting some really great energy flows through that. So I'm not putting that down, but I'm just saying, as you're getting started, I think that there are a lot of things that we can adapt and adjust, and maybe it's like a little bit of a rebel meditation, right? You do what you want to do, you break the rules. Nicole says, yes, freestyle meditation. Yeah, it's I cannot sit Indian style for long, it cuts off your circulation. Exactly. Sometimes this just isn't realistic for us, or it doesn't work. And I know for me, I just have a hard time feeling comfortable with that. So number one, the most important thing that I think is to be comfortable, to find a way to be comfortable. So if you want to sit up in a chair, you can do that. If you want to sit on a comfortable couch, you can do that. If you want to lay on a comfortable couch, do that. If you want to lay in a recliner, I really like to lay in my recliner when I'm at home to do my meditations. Or I have this couch here in my office, so I will lay down on the couch and do my meditation when I come into the office. You can do that in your bed. I mean, whatever it is that works for you. Sometimes with the bed, you just want to be mindful that it's sometimes with meditation, when you're trying it, we can fall asleep, right? And so sometimes with the bed, we can get a little too comfortable, or if the bed is like our place for sleeping, it's a little bit easier to fall asleep during the meditation. So you might want to be mindful of that. But if you don't run into that issue, the bed is okay. The point is, we want you to be comfortable as possible. And so finding your way to adjust to that. Sometimes I will actually, when I'm wanting to make the energy flow a little bit better, I will sit up and do that in a comfortable couch or a chair, just because I do find that the energy flows a little bit better that way. But you can do whatever you want with this. And then you want to choose one thing to focus on. Basically, at the root of it, meditation is just you choose one thing. So one thing that people tend to focus on is the breath, okay? So taking a few minutes and focusing on breathing in and breathing out. And that was actually what I started with, but what I found was, for me personally, and this is maybe just like one of those little things for me, but I know other people have this issue too. I was getting anxious at listening to myself breathe. I was starting to like evaluate it, and it just didn't contribute to my comfort or my relaxation. And so I chose other things to focus on, because then I found that I could actually breathe a little bit more comfortably and easily when I wasn't paying attention to it. So breath is one thing, you know, so just taking slow, deep breaths, imagining that you're filling the lungs with air and then releasing, focusing on that, focusing on what that feels like. You can choose something else that is connected with your senses. So, you might choose to do a sound meditation. You might focus on just hearing. So what are the sounds that I'm hearing right now? And this is actually where, if you live in kind of a space where maybe it's not going to be perfectly quiet, this can actually benefit you, because if you're setting the intention that every sound that you hear puts you deeper into relaxation, puts you deeper into meditation, you can use that as a tool. So sometimes, like if you have screaming kids and stuff like that, that's harder to do. That's like next level meditation, I would say, if you can do that. But you know, if you have some sounds around, maybe you have some noisy neighbors or something like that, you can actually use that and focus on the sounds that you hear. Just have your awareness focusing on those sounds and setting the intention that that will put you into a deeper relaxation. So you can focus on sound as your one thing. Some people will do like a tasting meditation, right? So this is where you can do a chocolate meditation. Now, maybe if you're doing this every day, you're eating too much chocolate, right? But sometimes it's a nice meditation. So putting one piece of chocolate into your mouth and focusing on the taste of it, bringing your awareness to that, this is a way that you can meditate. So yes, I'm inviting you to have chocolate as part of your meditation, right? I support that. And then let's see, so what else? So focusing on one thing, you could focus on music. You know, so you could play relaxing music. That's one thing that I found that I really liked, is to choose one sound. So relaxing music, or one of my favorite sounds is actually to listen to an air conditioner. So you can do that as well, like something that's kind of white noise or something like that, and focusing all of your attention on that. You can, whatever it is, whatever you choose. Music, you can listen to a guided meditation, and that's a really great gateway in, is to, sorry, I'm distracted. It's a really great gateway in to allowing yourself, sorry, I'm going to restart. So letting yourself focus on just one thing. And oh, that's what I was talking about, is the guided meditation. Sorry. See, this is what I'm talking about. My brain gets going and then I can't refocus. As soon as I get distracted, it's hard for me to refocus. Guided meditations are a great tool for that, because it's something that you're focusing on one thing and you're also being guided into it. So it's saying focus on the breath, you know, imagine this, visualize this, all of those things. And it's a great way to get started with meditation without having to put all of the pressure or all of the guidance on you. You can let somebody guide you into it. And there's so many great meditations and stuff that are on YouTube. I have one that I can share with all of you that is just like a 6-minute meditation that I really, really love. If we have time, I'll actually take you through it today. But I will be sharing that as well, because it's on YouTube and you can listen to it whenever you want. Another thing you can do is visualize. So you can let yourself just sort of visualize and go through whatever. So you might imagine yourself walking through a forest. That's one of my favorite things that I like to visualize. Or you might imagine yourself on a beach. A lot of people like to imagine themselves on a beach. And then just notice what shows up. You could invite your spirit guides to meet you there, and then maybe they'll show up. You know, maybe you'll notice an energy that shows up, or cross loved ones, anything like that. So through that visualization, just letting yourself play an imagination game and explore that and see what shows up for you, because some really amazing and powerful things can show up when you're making that your focus. But even if you're not focusing on the visualization, sometimes when you just get to that deep level of relaxation, that kind of stuff will pop through. I was actually really surprised by it. I was trying for so long to connect with my spirit guides and was feeling like I was struggling to do that. And then one day it was like, as soon as I let go of focusing on that or needing to make those connections, they popped in. So I had to kind of let go of that. For any of you who are finding yourself stuck with that and you're focusing on that, you might be focusing on it too much. So let yourself set the intention and then release that and just bring yourself back into focusing on one of these things that we're talking about. And then what you want to do is practice, right? You want to do this. You want to find time in your schedule to do this. And, by the way, don't bullshit yourself. Like, don't say, I'm going to do this every morning when you know that you are setting the snooze on your alarm clock every morning and you're not actually going to do it in the morning. So don't make that your time. Choose a time that you can really commit to. And then when you make the commitment to yourself that you're going to give this a try, give it a solid try. How many times do we commit to other people and agree to do things and we let ourselves down all the time? We make commitments to ourselves and we let ourselves down. So don't let yourself down. If you're going to make this commitment, follow through. And let yourself begin to practice, because this is where this comes in, because it takes time to develop this. It's the same as going to the gym and working on building your muscles. You've got to retrain your brain. Love using the singing bowls. Yes, the singing bowls are awesome. They're really beautiful for just a beautiful thing to focus on during meditation or just for letting yourself relax. I love singing bowls too. Sometimes I listen to music that just has a bunch of different singing bowls going, and it's so beautiful, or chimes or whatever. So you can use different sounds like that as well. So you want to make sure you practice. You want to make sure that you're doing that as regularly, as often as possible. If you're doing it once a month, it's going to be hard for you to build that up. So trying to do that as often as you possibly can. Maybe it's just every weekday. If you're figuring out your routine and where you can fit this in and trying to let yourself flow with it. So let's see, what else did I want to talk about? What will you experience? So you can experience all kinds of things. So what's so funny to me is that people will come to me after a session where we've talked about meditation, where I've taught them this stuff. They'll come in and they'll go, Christy, nothing happened. And I'll say, okay, so what do you mean? Tell me about what you experienced. Tell me about what happened. And they'll say, well, I just felt relaxed. Well, you know what? Mission accomplished. Because really, at the root of it, that is always the goal. That is always what we want, because this really is a reset. This is really a disconnection from this crazy world, this crazy life that we are experiencing, and allowing us to take a little brain vacation, right? A brain, body, soul vacation. So if you feel relaxed, then good, mission accomplished. This is exactly what we want. And that might be the only thing that you ever experience from the meditation. But what you'll find is that there are all these amazing benefits that come with it. You start to feel physically better. You start to feel more rested. You start to feel more balanced. All of these amazing things that come with just taking better care of yourself. Okay? So if you're only feeling relaxed, awesome. We have accomplished something. Now, when you get going with this, some people will have different experiences that come in, and the timeline for this is going to be different for each and every one of you. Some of you may never experience other things other than relaxation. Some of you will, in your first meditation, have some crazy, trippy, psychedelic experiences where you're like, what the hell just happened? Okay, so there's going to be a little bit of both, and it's just going to be different for everybody. So what I would say to you is go into it with no expectations, because when you have expectations, you are already energetically blocking yourself from having those experiences. So you can set intentions. So for example, we talked about spirit guides. I would love in meditation to connect with my angels or to connect with my guides, that kind of stuff. So you can set that intention, but if you're so focused on that being the goal, chances are you're going to block yourself. Like I said, it took me actually stepping away from that and releasing that for that to be able to come through. And then my guides were like, we've been trying to connect with you, you know, but you've been blocking us. So don't have expectations of it. Just expect to relax. Just expect to have a connecting experience, a relaxing experience. And then you might have other experiences that come in. You might have visions of things. You might see colors, different colors flowing to you. You might hear sounds. You might hear voices, but not like creepy, scary voices like I'm going crazy voices. Not like that, but more like just thoughts that pop into your head that maybe seem a little bit smarter or more brilliant than your normal thoughts. Those are your guides connecting with you. Those are the angels connecting with you and giving you information. And so you might have that experience as well. You might find yourself leaving your body. You know, sometimes people astral project during meditation. If you're looking to do that, what I would recommend is that you set some intentions around that, and that you think about that before you do that. You know, if you would like to do that, the intention setting, or if you'd like to have any experience in meditation, the intention setting is really key and really important. So just setting those intentions if you would like to have that experience, but not being too tied into, I have to have this experience for it to be successful. So you can have that. You can have, I've connected with my guides. I've had visions. I've had angels come in. I have been really aware of things happening around me physically in the room while I'm meditating. I've felt really warm. I felt really relaxed. I felt really tingly. I felt, I felt my entire body completely heal and balance in one meditation session before. So it can be incredibly powerful, but not every meditation is going to be like that. And expect, by the way, that you're going to have bad days. Expect that sometimes you're going to sit down to meditate and it's going to be kind of a shitty experience. You know, it's going to be hard for you to redirect your thoughts. You're going to be too in your head that day. And that's okay, because at least you tried. And you come back the next day and you try it again, because just understand that you're going to have bad days. After these 5 years of meditating really pretty consistently, still have a hard time with that. Some days it's really hard for me to get into that state. And then other days it's really easy. You may find yourself falling asleep. I talked about this a little bit. If you're falling asleep during meditation, you want to just think about how can I problem solve this so I'm not falling asleep, unless that's the goal. Because sometimes people want to meditate themselves into sleep if you're having a hard time with sleeping. But I really like meditation as separate from sleep as well. And so if you're somebody who's falling asleep during meditation, you might do that in the morning instead, because maybe you're a little bit more awake, or earlier in the day or midday or whatever that is. You might do that in a different place. Like I said, if you're doing that in your bed, it might be, you might be more likely to fall asleep because that's just what you're used to. That kind of stuff. So you want to just troubleshoot that. You can go into states where I have the experience where I go into a state where I'm not as aware of what's going on around me or in my mind, where I just kind of like, it's almost like completely clear mind. And I have that experience a lot, but it's different from sleeping. It feels different from sleeping. So give it a try and just see what you're experiencing, and problem solve around the things that are coming in as barriers. You can also enhance your meditation. So there's some things that you can do to enhance your meditation. I like to use crystals, so I like to hold them in my hands sometimes. If there's, I love to use crystals. Actually, Ashleen is going to be teaching on crystals tonight. So today at 8:30, make sure you tune in so you can get her class on crystals. But I will choose some crystals. Maybe there's a specific energy that I'm looking for to connect with, or maybe I want to enhance my meditation. I really like to use, do I have any here? Here's one. An amethyst as part of my meditation, just because that helps you to connect more deeply. Or let's see, do I have one here? Yeah. Apophyllite is an amazing way, especially if you're looking to connect with the guides and your angels. this is a great tool for doing that. And again, that's called a apophyllite. I did a video. If you guys follow me on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. You'll find that I did a video on both of those crystals if you're wanting to learn more about those. You can use essential oils. You know, I really like frankincense for that. It's a great essential oil to use. There's a, what's the name of that one? I'll have to post it later. There's a Young Living blend that I really like. I really like the White Angelica Young Living blend. That's a beautiful, amazing energy. I use that oil actually in every energy healing that I do, because what I notice that it does to people's auras is it brings in a lot of white light into their aura. So that's my all-time favorite oil. Sacred Mountain is the other one. That one's a really nice one to meditate to, but these are great oils for you to meditate with. You can do it with singing bowls like we're talking about. You can incorporate just anything that makes it feel good. You can create an altar to meditate at, right? Where you put up things that are important to you that help you to feel more connected to God, Jesus, Buddha, whatever it is, you know, that you're wanting to connect with. The angels, you can have angels up on the altar. So these are all just tools to help enhance it. And as you explore that, you'll find other tools that will help it to feel better or help you to relax more with that. Chanting you can use. That's not something that I use often myself, but I know some people really, really love it. You can stick with the Om, you know, so just saying Om, and that will help to just bring a peace and a calm. It's such a beautiful energy that comes with Om, and you can just chant that over and over and over again. You can have like a mantra or a word that you repeat to yourself. That can be your one thing that you focus on. You can have an affirmation that you focus on, and that's your one thing that you focus on. So there's all kinds of options out there for you. I would love to hear from you guys what you like to use as your meditation, or if you have never meditated before but you decide after today to start. I'd love to hear from you guys what's working for you, what doesn't work for you. Do you guys have any questions for me? I'm going to just take a look in here. Nicole says she loves Sacred Mountain. Yep, cedarwood is another great one for that. Any others? Yeah, Yoga Nidra is a great way to reset. Is another way for us to, another form really of meditation. And a lot of people at the end of yoga have a hard time with it, right? The same people that are having a hard time with meditation oftentimes have a hard time during that relaxing part at the end of yoga. So, and yoga, by the way, is a great way to meditate. I forgot to talk about that stuff. Yoga is flow, right? It allows us to be in flow. And so when we aren't so worried about how to get the moves right, once you start to learn the different positions and things like that, you can get into a little bit more of a flow. And when you can get into that flow, you can start to clear the mind, and that can become a meditation. Other ways that people meditate. So if you decide, you know, none of this stuff is really working for me, none of this stuff is helpful to me, you might need more of an active meditation like the yoga, or doing something creative. You know, people start to paint and do crafty things and get really, really lost in that. Anything that you can get lost in the flow of really can be a form of meditation. I like to go for hikes in the woods, and for me that's such an amazing form of meditation, and I get a ton out of it. Some people meditate while they're driving, right? And so it's those times when we space out and we actually go into a hypnotic state, and when we have really amazing ideas coming through, you're actually going to a meditative state, and you are connecting with that same feeling, that same process. And so that's another way, another tool that you can use. Just make sure that you're still paying attention to your driving. But yeah, there's all these different things, anything that you can get lost in the flow of. I've heard from, you know, people who love to, for example, work on cars, and they say that's my form of meditation, because when I'm putting things together, when I'm using my hands, when I'm focusing and just in a flow, this is where I feel connected. So you don't have to even do the sitting and focusing and all of that stuff. It's really anything that you can let yourself get lost in a flow of. I don't see any questions come through, so I want to just talk about the offers that I have for you guys. So one of my favorite things to teach about, to talk about, that I'm always helping people on is in connecting with their intuition. So I have filmed some courses for you guys that I am sharing with a special package, and it's called the Jumpstart Your Intuition package. And this is a Intuition 101 class that is 4 parts, and it's going to teach you all about how to connect more deeply and start to connect with your intuition and to develop that on a deeper level. So we have Intuition 101, which is a 4-part class, and then how to pull a daily tarot card for yourself class. And that's a short 2-part class, but it's really a nice tool for you daily to begin to start that process of connecting with your intuition, getting your messages from your guides. So it's another way that we can connect and learn. So those 2 are going to be available to you for $20. And all you have to do on my website, you can go and purchase that. It's discoveryyourawakening.com is the website, and you're going to go just to the tab that says, and I'll share it below, but classes, events, and I think like online products or something the tab says, but you'll be able to find it, and you should be able to purchase that. I will send the links for those classes to you with that. And the other offer that I have for you, and this is going to be available, I would like to have this arranged and set up. So this is available until Monday for you, and I will work on these readings next week, but my email tarot readings are going to be available for only $25. And these are 1-question email readings where you send me your question, where I pull some cards for you. I do an audio recording, and I send you a picture of the cards. I love tarot cards. I love doing tarot readings, and the email readings are just so much fun because sometimes you just have one question or one area that you want to take a look at. And so contact me before the end of the day Monday, and we will get that set up so that I can do an email reading for you probably sometime next week. So those are the offers that I have for you guys. And again, I just want to say thank you so much for being a part of the summit. The exciting thing is, and I hope you guys are enjoying this, because I'm going to be doing this actually quarterly. So I'll probably be having one maybe toward the middle of the summertime or something like that with different teachers and different classes, but I always want to be able to just keep giving back to you guys and to share all of this amazing information with you guys, with these people that I know and connect with who have so many things to share with you. So that's going to be a quarterly thing. We're going to have that right here in this group. So just stay here in this group, and we're going to be having these offered to you quarterly. If you guys have questions and you're watching on the replay, make sure that you include those, and I will try to get answers up for all of you with that. But thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Christy Forsyth with Clarity by Christy. If you want to learn more about me or about Clarity, you can check me out at discoveryourawakening.com. And thank you guys. Make sure you follow my page so that you can catch all of my videos. Okay? Take care.